Stu, that is a wrap on 2021-22 season. It's ended beautifully. A 4-0 win over Charlton in the sun in front of 26,000 fans at Portman Road. A wonderful afternoon that's come at the end of some real disappointment. It's a funny old feeling after this one.
Just adds to the whole what if feeling of this entire football season for me. What if they'd have been able... We've seen, 4 goals at Wycombe, 4 goals at Portsmouth, 4 at Gillingham, 6-0 v Doncaster here. So many games where you've thought Ipswich is going to be... they're going to put someone to the sword soon. It's happened today, finally, but it's happened on the last day of the season. And ultimately, Ipswich have finished 11th in League One. So it's a little taster of what next season could be. It sends us all feeling that little bit, with a bit of a spring in our step. It's been a bit flat the last few weeks, but that's a lovely way to finish today. That was enjoyable. Yeah,
there's so much that you can dissect about this season, and we will dissect about this season as time goes on. But today's about a nice win in the sun, and as you say, some reminders of what Town can do and what we are hoping that this time next year is what we're witnessing on the pitch are the scenes that have happened at Shrewsbury today, where Wigan have been promoted and Rotherham winning promotion at Gillingham today. That's where we hope Ipswich are in 12 months' time. But in the here and now of today's game, you might have worried that it would be a bit of a drifty end of season affair, but within 10-11 minutes of the start of this one, Ipswich had come out all guns blazing and had fully taken control of a game that ended up being quite entertaining.
Scored first early on, 7 minutes. Tyreek Bakinson had a really sloppy start to the game, giving the ball away multiple times, shifts the ball out of his feet, top corner, edge of the box, 1-0, 7 minutes. And then the key thing is Ipswich score a second, which has been the thing that has been holding them back, that has stopped them having days like this, is being ruthless when they're on top. And a second goal came, 4 minutes later. Chaplin through ball, Wes Burns, lovely outside of the boot finish. And from there, once Ipswich get that 2-goal cushion, they can enjoy themselves. They can play. The opposition have to come back at them. That leaves more gaps. And that scoreline today could have been anything in the end. Ipswich finished with 2 more goals in the second half. They could have had 3-4 more goals. Charlton have hit the bar. Walton's made a big save as well. So sometimes these end-of-game seasons can be quite fun. They can produce scorelines like this. But I don't think we should be getting too carried away because this has got to happen when it means something as well, isn't it?
That's what Kieran McKenna sat in this very seat about 40 minutes ago and said. I think he's enjoyed watching his team today, but he knows that it all starts afresh in July, and there's going to have to be an element of hitting the ground running, work over the summer, and this means nothing towards next season. He's been at pains to suggest that. 2-0 up at half time. They also then went and scored the first goal of the second half, killing off any kind of potential Charlton comeback, and that's also ended up with Macaulay Bonne quite literally passing the top goalscorer award to Wes Burns, who scored his second of the game, his 13th of the season. And looking out the window now, there's the Player of the Year, Fans Player of the Year award vote going on. I'd be staggered if he doesn't win that as well. He's a well-decorated man this season.
Yeah, been quite the debut season for Wes Burns. 13 goals, several assists as well. Hard not to feel really sorry for Macaulay Bonne today, who we know it's been a season of 2 halves for him. The Mr. Ipswich Town, local lad, loves the club. We know all of that. Started the season on fire, drifted away really badly. We desperately hoped that he would finish the season on a sentimental note with a goal today, because it looks like, I don't think he'll be coming back from QPR, the lone player. He starts up front today, scores from an offside position in the first half, lays on the goal for Wes Burns that ultimately gives Wes Burns the golden boot ahead of him. Gets subs for James Norwood late on. James Norwood goes and gets that goal and gets his moment in front of the North Stand at the end, arms spread wide. He put his statement out last night to say that he's leaving, so felt a little bit sorry for Macaulay Bonne today. I hoped that he would get that sort of moment that James did.
Yeah, he got a lovely reception when he came off, though. Macaulay Bonne, he's one of our own, being sung around the stadium. You could see him, he was kind of beating the badge on his chest. This year will have meant so much to him. It's just so disappointing for him and everyone else that it is kind of faded away after November time. that is the way that only James Norwood could really have finished his time at Ipswich, isn't it? Not only the goal from an incredibly tight angle, but on the lap of appreciation, he's then hooked 4 of his mates out of the crowd to have some fun on the pitch with him.
It was a bit like at Wimbledon when you see someone go and climb up the stands into the family and friends area, and he went up and climbed a few steps, knocked on one of the corporate boxes on the glass window. Out came sort of 4 of his mates, I assume, and kind of did his own lap of appreciation with those 4 who were doing their best to try and whip up the crowd as well. That was very James Norwood, that, wasn't it? But Kieran McKenna's confirmed afterwards that he's obviously going this summer. We'll talk a lot about how things will change in this squad over the summer, but he's off, and there'll be some more announcements on the out-of-contract players in the next couple of days, I think.
Yeah, some of the scenes on that lap of honour are really quite, and I love watching those. It's always better if it's in better circumstances, but there was that with James. You had Lee Evans and Caden Jackson's kids scoring goals and getting big cheers in front of the 2 stands behind the goals. Sam Morsey's daughter went sprinting across the pitch away from him
in a pink tutu.
In a pink tutu again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's always nice to see. But those players will have been doing that lap of honour with mixed feelings. Obviously, they've just had a really good win in front of a big crowd. But they're all fully aware that 11th place is not where many of them would probably argue that they deserve to finish. They know they're better than some of the teams that are above them. I think they would tell you that. But the table doesn't lie, doesn't it? And that's sadly where they've ended up.
Other positives today, Elkan Baggott makes his league debut. Cameron Humphreys comes on and lays on the assist for James Norwood. Lots to like about today. A real good feel-good factor in the sunshine, and off we go into the summer. Once again, hoping that next year is the one. But you're right, 11th, frankly, isn't good enough, Andy, and the table doesn't lie at this point of the season. They need to be able to do this more consistently and become this winning team. And on these sort of days, they can put teams to the sword. But as McKenna says, they've got to be a bit more variety, a bit more robustness to them. That in the depths of winter, you can grind out some of those games against the teams that park the bus and offer different challenges. And in Kieran McKenna, we all hope that we've got the man that can find the missing pieces to the jigsaw with the right backing as well from an ambitious ownership. So. That's a wrap on this season. Thanks for watching all the videos, and there'll be plenty more content coming your way. Don't you worry about it. But for now, we'll see you soon.